Hey guys, welcome to another video. And in this video, I want to talk to you guys about the importance of loving yours or loving everything that you have. And so this song, I guess you could say, or this video, I guess you could say, is inspired by the song Love Yours by J. Cole. And so in that song, I just love how he talks about loving the things that you have instead of just infatuating yourself with the things you want or the things that you don't have. And so I'll give you guys a prime example. Typically, I take a lot of pride in keeping my space clean, whether that's cleaning up as soon as I'm done eating, being, good with loading up the dishwasher, all of those things. But I started to notice the last few weeks that I wasn't being as diligent with cleaning up, after myself and all of those things. And I couldn't understand why because at first I chalked it up to, oh, well, I'm a lot busier now. I don't have the time to clean up after myself sometimes. And so sometimes it takes a while. But then I remembered even when I was in dental school, like I still always made time to clean up after myself, whether it was, a busy week coming up, a busy weekend, because I knew that I got a lot of internal peace from having a cleaner space, from having a space where there's not just like stuff everywhere. And so I really just started thinking about what it could be that was causing me to not keep my spaces clean. What could be that was causing me to get more lazy in terms of cleaning up after myself in a timely manner. And so then it just hit me yesterday, and I feel like God was kind of talking to me yesterday, and He was like, the problem is I've been getting so caught up in potentially moving to a bigger space and like all of those things that I got so focused and infatuated with that I started looking down on the current space that I'm living in. And because of that, when you look down on the current space you're living in, you feel less inclined to maintain it. You feel less inclined to keep it clean, to clean up after yourself. When you're so focused on, oh, well, this place is too small. This place doesn't, do this, and this place doesn't do that. And you're so focused on, oh, well, eventually I'm going to get a bigger place. And so you start to almost idolize the thought of getting a bigger space. And so because of that, you look down on the current place that you're staying in. And so I was super grateful to realize that yesterday because it was that reminder that I needed to really embrace where I am in life right now, to really enjoy this journey. Because of course there might come a day where, I get a bigger space or whatever the case may be, but ultimately you have to value and appreciate what you have now to even be in the right position to appreciate getting something more. Because if you can't, be grateful and be, and be blessed with what you have, even if it's just a little, even if it's not as much as, what you want in the future, if you can't, appreciate what you have, you're constantly going to end up in this mindset of you get a bigger space and then that's going to be cool for a little bit. And then you want a bigger one and a bigger one. And then notice how I said want and not need, because when you don't appreciate the space that you're in, when you're in it, it becomes easy to just move from place to place, left and right, constantly chasing the proper aesthetic or constantly chasing the proper size. And when that's the case, you're constantly going to find yourself moving and upgrading. And in my last video, I talked about how it works with shoes, where it's the same thing, where I talked about being in that space where I didn't truly appreciate the things that I had. And so because I didn't really appreciate the shoes that I had in that manner, it just led me a lot more prone to constantly looking for the next pair of shoes. And when you're in that mindset, you even take less care of the shoes that you have because you look at all your shoes, it's just kind of expendable. Like even with the shoes, I'll give you guys an example that I forgot to bring up in the last video. But I remember I have this pair of New Balances that I love. And so I had gone with my wife to, it was like a fair or something. I forgot what it was, but there was a fair amount of like dust and stuff like that. And so, yeah, like some dust got on my shoes and all of that stuff. And literally, because I have a fair amount of shoes and all of that, um, excuse me, I basically would just tell myself, like, oh, yeah, these shoes got dust on them, but it's not that big of a deal. Like, yeah, they're dirty, but I'm not gonna clean them because I'll just wear my other shoes until I can clean them. And mind you guys, this was probably 3 months ago or something, 2, 3 months ago. And so the fact that that's the headspace that I've been in, where I've been feeling less motivated to even clean the shoes that I have right now. That's what started to tell me that there was a problem with me having shoes in excess to the point where I was losing appreciation for a pair of shoes that I once really loved. And so that's why I was like, okay, like I need to sell off some of my shoes so that I can really get back to that point of appreciating every pair that I have, so that I can get to the point of truly feeling blessed for every pair of shoes that I have. Because I'm basically like a recovering shopaholic in a way, where for a while I would try to buy shoes or clothes whenever I get stressed out, or whenever I would want to do something to, switch things up. Sometimes I would be like, oh, well, I need to get an all black pair of shoes because I don't really have that. Or, oh, I need to get, this certain pair of New Balances that's different or whatever. And so, yeah, it was interesting because I never thought I would get to that point with the house that I live in, where I would start to feel like, oh, well, this house isn't as good because it's not as big as the space that I want. I want to get a space that has this and this and this. And so, yeah, I'm just really grateful that God reminded me of that, of just the importance of gratitude and the importance of truly being grateful for the space that I'm in, and understanding that it's only through being grateful for what you have that you put yourself in proper position to be grateful for something else. And it's the same thing even with cars. Like if you have a certain car right now, and even if it's, let's say it's a sedan and you want an SUV, until you get to the point where you're grateful for even having a car to begin with, once you get an SUV, you could end up being in a headspace of, well, this SUV is okay, but I wish I would have gotten this kind instead. Yeah, I got a RAV4, but I kind of wish I would have gotten a BMW instead. Oh yeah, I mean, I got a Forerunner, but instead maybe I should have gotten, a Mercedes instead, or maybe I should have gotten a CRV or a CX-5. And so you end up just being in this space of, okay, yeah, I got the thing that I wanted, but maybe I could have done better. Maybe I could have gotten this thing instead of this thing. And, why did I settle with this thing when instead I could have potentially had this? And so really, I think that was just an important reminder, because of course we hear messages about gratitude. We, hear about how important it is. But in this day-to-day life that we live, it's hard sometimes to remember how important it is, because, for example, to use the car example, you might think, oh, well, I'm trying to be grateful. I'm trying to be grateful for the sedan that I have. I'm trying to appreciate it. But of course, every time you go somewhere, you see a CX-5, you see a BMW, you see a Mercedes, you see, a Honda CRV, you see a Mazda, CX-5 or whatever. And so sometimes it can be hard to remember that message of just the importance of gratitude. And so that's why I wanted to make this video, to hopefully inspire you guys, to hopefully inspire anyone who's struggling with the same thing. Because being humans, one of my favorite things about YouTube is, and even social media in general, is the fact that we can all make content to bond with one another, and we can share and, one another's struggle, but then we can also, build a better relationship and move towards Christ together. And so that's why I'm super passionate about forming a great, Christian community of, brothers and sisters in Christ, where we can all come together to talk about our issues, and we can all pray for one another, and we can help to make sure that We all get through these things. No one out there feels alone and feels like they're fighting this all by themselves. And so if you guys got value from this video, if you guys stayed the whole time, I appreciate you guys. If you guys have any comments or any thoughts, definitely let me know in the comments below. And so stay blessed, you guys. And I'll talk to all of you guys in the next video.